Everything is connected. This is not just a poetic sentiment or a philosophical musing. It is the foundation of reality itself. The law of divine oneness states that all things in the universe are interwoven, bound together by an invisible force that transcends time, space, and physical form. There is no separation. The air we breathe, the stars above, the people we love, and even the strangers we ignore, all are pieces of the same infinite whole. This concept is not new. Ancient spiritual traditions, quantum physics, and even modern psychology all point to the same truth. We are one. But understanding this law requires more than just intellectual acknowledgement. It demands a shift in perception, a willingness to look beyond the illusion of individuality and recognize the deeper currents that unite all existence. From the moment we are born, we are taught to see ourselves as separate entities. We have our own names, our own bodies, our own thoughts and experiences. We build lives based on distinctions, us and them, self and other, here and there. Society reinforces this idea through borders, social classes, and personal identities. And yet, beneath all of these surface-level differences, the truth remains unchanged. Consider a wave in the ocean. For a moment, it rises, distinct and seemingly independent. It moves with force, with purpose, perhaps even believing itself to be something apart from the water that birthed it. But eventually, it crashes and dissolves back into the sea, revealing the truth that was always there. It was never separate. It was always the ocean. We are no different. We are like waves, each with our own moment of expression, but eternally part of the vast, limitless ocean of existence. The law of divine oneness reminds us that everything we do, think, and feel ripples across the whole, touching every other part of the universe in ways we may never fully comprehend. For those who seek a more scientific perspective, the evidence is overwhelming. Quantum physics has revealed that at the smallest level, everything is made of energy, and that energy is not confined to one place. The phenomenon known as quantum entanglement demonstrates that particles can be separated by vast distances and still affect each other instantaneously. This suggests that the universe is not made of isolated parts, but of an interconnected field where everything influences everything else. Biology also supports this idea. A single cell cannot exist in isolation, just as a single human cannot thrive without the relationships, ecosystems, and forces that sustain life. Even the air we exhale becomes the breath of another. The trees that provide us oxygen depend on the carbon dioxide we release. Nothing stands alone. Every thought you think, every action you take, sends waves through the web of existence. This is why the law of divine oneness is so powerful. It means that what you do to another, you ultimately do to yourself. The hatred you project, the kindness you extend, the love you withhold, all of it echoes back. This is why ancient teachings emphasize compassion, empathy, and mindfulness. When you harm another, you are harming a part of yourself. When you uplift someone, you are elevating the whole. The universe does not recognize division. It only responds to the energy that moves through it. This understanding is both liberating and humbling. It means that you are never truly alone, that every moment of joy and every moment of pain is shared on a cosmic level. It also means that you have far more influence than you realize. You are a creator, a force within the great tapestry of existence, shaping reality with every choice you make. The law of divine oneness has been understood and honored for thousands of years across different cultures and spiritual traditions. In indigenous cultures, the concept of interconnectedness is deeply woven into spiritual beliefs and daily life. Many indigenous traditions teach that everything has a spirit, from animals, plants, rivers, mountains, and that all life forms are connected in a sacred web. When one part of nature is harmed, the entire system suffers. In Hinduism, the idea of Brahman, the ultimate, unchanging reality, is central to spiritual teachings. Brahman is the infinite consciousness from which all things emerge and to which all things return. The concept of Atman, or the individual soul, is merely a reflection of this universal oneness. In Buddhism, the idea of interdependence is expressed through the teaching of Pratityasamutpada, or dependent origination, which states that nothing exists independently. Every phenomenon arises in relation to something else, reinforcing the truth that all things are connected. In Christianity, Jesus' teachings also emphasize oneness. The message of love, compassion, and unity is central to his words. Whatever you do to the least of these, you do to me. Matthew chapter 25, verse 40. This statement aligns perfectly with the law of divine oneness. What we do to another, we ultimately do to ourselves. Understanding the law of divine oneness is one thing, but living it is another. One of the most powerful ways is mindfulness, the practice of being fully present in the moment and recognizing the unity that surrounds us. When we slow down and observe, we begin to see how everything is interconnected. Gratitude is another way to align with oneness. When we appreciate the people, resources, and experiences in our lives, we acknowledge our connection to them. Gratitude transforms the way we interact with the world, shifting our perspective from lack to abundance. Compassion and kindness are perhaps the most direct expressions of oneness. Every time you extend love, help, or understanding to another being, you reinforce the fabric of unity. Letting go of judgment is also essential. When we judge others, we create division. But when we look at others with understanding, we recognize that their struggles, mistakes, and triumphs are reflections of our own. Recognizing our interconnectedness has profound implications for the world. When we understand that we are all one, we see that social injustices, poverty, war, and environmental destruction affect all of us, not just those who experience them directly. We can no longer turn a blind eye to suffering because we understand that it is our suffering too. When we harm the planet, we harm ourselves. When we ignore the struggles of others, we weaken the collective. Healing, then, must be a communal effort. We heal the world by healing ourselves. We uplift others by elevating our own consciousness. Every positive change we make in our personal lives contributes to the greater whole. The universe is a vast, intricate dance, each movement flowing into the next, each being playing its part in the eternal rhythm of creation. You are not separate from this dance. You are not an outsider looking in. You are the dance itself. The law of divine oneness is the key to understanding not just the universe, but yourself. It is the answer to the deepest questions of existence. Who am I? Why am I here? What is my purpose? You are here to awaken to your connection with all things. You are here to live in harmony with the great web of life. You are here to recognize that there is no other. There is only one. And when you truly understand this, everything changes. If this video resonated with you, if it sparked a new perspective or deepened your understanding of the universe, then let's keep this energy flowing. Hit that like button. It helps more people discover these powerful truths. Subscribe so you don't miss the next deep dive into the universal laws. And if you know someone who would benefit from this message, share it with them. The more we awaken together, the stronger our connection becomes.